What's up, YouTube? It's your boy John from Project Ellsworth here with my sidekick Michael. We are getting ready to go into Spirit Halloween. I've been in here a bunch of times this year, so I figured why not give you guys a tour of the Flagship Store here in Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey. So let's head inside. There's Michael opening the door for his pop like a good boy. Alright, there's the sign that greets you as soon as you walk through the door at this location. We have a couple spirits around here, but this is the main one. This is the big dog. I think this was the first one that they opened. As soon as you go in the door is where they have their animatronics display. And I believe they refer to this as the Spirit Halloween experience, if I'm not mistaken. Some of these worked, some of them didn't. I always like the animatronic clowns, especially the huge oversized ones such as this one. Then you got this guy here who did not have a button. I usually try and test all of these things when I go in, but he didn't even have an option of stepping on anything, so he must have been broken. This one's pretty basic. It's just I don't know if she's supposed to be a zombie or a witch or a spirit, but she just makes a few noises and then she jumps out at you. I really like this thing. I think that's really cool. Some part of me inside wishes I could install that somewhere, like coming down into my horror man cave. I think that would be pretty cool. I have a very strong sense that my wife would not be too nuts about that. This was actually Employee Appreciation Day, so I think they had an extra stock out for their employees. This guy here, not a whole lot special about this guy either. His arms are kind of wonky, and when he speaks, he almost sounds like he's getting ready to do something, but he doesn't really do anything other than swing back and forth mildly on that thing. There's Sam. Everybody loves Sam. Sam is big at Spirit Halloween. And there's Pennywise. He's partially broken too. I think that he spoke and then like jumped up. But here he did not speak. He just jumped up. Sam didn't do anything at all. So you can tell this store's been open for a little while because they've the public has had a chance to wear out the animatronics. Always like scarecrows. Again, I love the big clowns. I just think these things are great. If I had a place to put these things, I actually would probably go out of my way to try and buy more of them and use them all year long. Yeah, he's really cool too. I like him. They always have a couple of clowns every year at Spirit Halloween, and I always like them. Here are the Michael Myers masks from Trick or Treat Studios. Those ones down the bottom right there, I know that I have a Halloween 1 and Halloween 2 mask, and I don't believe that I have those. They're like a slight variation of what they've had over the last couple of years. There's the cheaper Michael Myers mask with just the string. I actually have one of those too. Here's the Sam masks, Sam socks. You know, like I said, they always have a couple Sam things at Trick or Treat Studios, or not Trick or Treat, Spirit Halloween, pardon me. And here's some what is that called? Stranger Things, a little Stranger Things shelf. And here is Pennywise, the It section. Most of the stuff that they have as far as It goes is newer It, not the older classic It with Tim Curry. There's Michael. He's wearing his Michael costume. And here is a bit of a Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street section here. I wanted to make it a point to get some of the Friday the 13th stuff in there after I glance over here at the Elm Street stuff, obviously. But I have a guy who subscribes to me named Todd Friday the 13th, and he asked me what kind of Friday the 13th stuff they had, so I wanted to make sure I got some of that in here. That Robert Englund mask is awesome there, that Freddy mask. I have a Freddy mask that I bought at Spirit Halloween and looks awful, but that one's actually pretty cool. And there's just some general jack-o'-lantern and skeleton stuff. Here's a shelf of t-shirts that they had. They usually don't have too many in my size. This year they actually had one, that top right Michael Myers shirt that says Boogeyman on it. I wound up getting that. They had a 2XL in that shirt. I have that sign, that Crystal Lake sign. I bought that last year, the day after Halloween, when it was 50% off. And here's just some more random stuff. Here's some Chucky stuff there. Never been a big Child's Play fan, but I recently bought the movies. I'm going to revisit them. Andrew Ballina convinced me to do so, so I'm going to give him a shot. And here's like a voodoo section. Bunch of walking sticks and staffs. And this here, there's a mask in here. Where is it? I think it's the one at the top. Yeah, that one right there. For some reason, I just keep going back to that mask. I know that I'm going to wind up buying that thing this year. For some reason, I'm just attracted to that mask. Eventually, that's going to wind up down in my basement. Show up in some YouTube videos here and there, I'm sure. And here, I don't even know what in the world you call this. I don't know if this is steampunk or gothic or what that is. Not my bag, so I'm not real familiar with that stuff. It's got to be gothic. That guy there, that's a shrunken head. I actually bought that the first time I went to Spirit Halloween this year. And what do we got next? More of Michael. Michael looking at a police taser. Of course he is, because that's what we need in our house, is a toy taser that he can go and scare his mother with. I saw these here, these police hats, and I believe I got some SWAT hats on here as well. Yeah, there they are. I just thought that would be so strange that they would have those on display. With the state of the world right now, somebody could easily just go in and pick up a police hat, and somebody who doesn't know any better is just going to think they're a police officer, which to me is weird, but whatever. And here is the steampunk section. These goggles, I'm half tempted to buy those goggles and one of those hats just to have, because I have a feeling somewhere down the line they could be needed in a video. I thought that long coat there, that trench coat, I thought was pretty cool too. I didn't even see how much that was. And obviously I don't need any of these for personal use, but I would think that steampunk stuff could come in handy in a YouTube video down the road. That there is the Pennywise that I showed earlier, the animatronic. I have a very strong feeling that he is going to wind up down here in my man cave this year. I love their animatronics. There's Sam. I don't know if that alternate head is just inside the box. I guess it is. I was unaware that they did that with animatronics, but apparently they do with Sam. And here is the section of skeletons and skulls, where I typically buy something every time I'm in there. I was actually looking at one of those full-size skeletons, thinking that it would be kind of funny to have one of those down here in my basement. To see if they're posable at all, maybe I could use one of those in my YouTube videos at some point. And if not, just to have him standing in the corner or sitting on the couch down here. I thought that would be pretty funny. Several of these skulls I've already bought this year. I just collect them. The one there with the spider web on it, I'm going to probably pick him up eventually. That steer head, I bought that last year. That's hanging in my hallway coming down into my man cave. This girl here is pretty boring. She didn't do a whole lot. She just makes a little bit of noise and rotates and does nothing more than that. I didn't include any of the audio from Spirit Halloween in this video, simply because they were playing music in the background, kind of loud. So with that, I know that I could get either demonetized or copyright strike against my channel. Well, there's really no repercussions for that, but I just don't like seeing that on my channel. You know, if eventually I get my channel monetized, which would be awfully nice, I would not be able to get monetized on this video because of the music playing in the background. So I don't want to deal with any of that, so I would rather just black out the audio or block out the audio completely and throw my own audio in here with a little bit of background music. This guy here didn't do anything at all. He like grunted and made pig noises but did not move. So one has to assume that he's broken. This guy jumps up. I had Michael stepping on the things at this point. He's alright. I think he's pretty cool. His face is neat. Then there's this thing here that basically looks like a drunk skinny chick. I don't know what you would even call that. To be honest with you, I have no idea. It looks like the creep show creep's cousin who has too much to drink. Then here's this girl. She really doesn't do much either. Head turns a little bit. I don't think she does. Yeah, kicks her feet. There's not a lot to her either. I think my favorite original Spirit Halloween animatronic this year has got to be that thing that sucks the soul out of the little girl. Sorry, quick cup of coffee, or a quick sip of coffee. And then there's the masks here. A lot of these are, I believe, Trick or Treat Studios. A lot of the stuff that are from like movies, Halloween, the movie Trick or Treat. Possibly there's a Leatherface mask in here that looks like it could be from Trick or Treat Studios. But I didn't check a whole lot of them out. That mask there, Michael bought that last year. And there is the mask from Saw. There's Scream. There's Twisty from American Horror Story. Last year they actually had a Pinhead mask in here. And if you know me and you know my channel, you know that I have long hair. I put that Pinhead mask on, and when I took it off, it was pulling the hair out of my head because the inside of the pins, my hair was getting wrapped around the inside of the pins. It was terrible. Yeah, that Leatherface mask is $50, so I'm going to hope that he's there the day after Halloween. There's that cheapy Michael Myers mask. There's the horrible Halloween Begins mask, the movie that never took place. That skull mask I have. There's Twisty. I thought about buying him, but I really don't, just because I like it. I don't know what kind of application I could use that for, because I don't plan to do American Horror Story reviews, so I really don't have any need for that mask. There's the Halloween 2018 mask. I like that a lot. That thing there, I like that too, but I did not buy it. Maybe the day after Halloween. I keep referring to that day because I go every year and everything in the store is marked down 50%. So I usually go in there and have a pretty solid haul. Yeah, I thought that was the trip. Please do not try on the masks. Michael was bothered by that, and as I told him, I was like, buddy, you really don't want to put these masks on this year. That's just a risk you don't need to take. Those masks actually, they light up. The markings around the eyes light up. One of these days going to buy one of these chainsaws too. I think I picked this knife up. Yeah, I picked this knife up just to show you the liquid inside the blood. That's pretty neat. You never know. That may wind up down here too. I love this place. I go here way too much. Those chainsaws are actually pretty expensive. I think they're like $50 or $60. But I'm definitely going to wind up with one of them eventually. I thought about picking one up last year, and when I went in there the day after Halloween, they were all gone. So apparently somebody else out there had the same idea I did. That's right. The masks that are all the way to the right are always just the cheapy generic masks. Look at the size of that sword. That looks like something out of Final Fantasy. That's it. That's what I think of immediately, is that's the sword that Cloud has in Final Fantasy. There's an axe. Here's a couple sickles. These things I might wind up picking up for my YouTube channel. Get myself a Lucille bat. There's like that meat cleaver, the sledgehammer, the regular hammer. Those are things that I could imagine I could probably use in some videos down the line, just because I'm goofy. I mean, I'm not planning on doing like television shows or long extended skits, but some of my older videos I used a lot of that stuff in, and I thought they were pretty amusing. And they just look cool to have down here. Who doesn't need a wall of fake weaponry in their man cave? Of course you do. But those are neat. They're like clubs with saw blades in them. But see, like that wrench. I would love to have a fake wrench. I have no idea why, but it would just be neat to have. And there's the hammer that I almost bought that hammer yesterday, but I thought better of it. I believe it's only like $13, $12.99, or some giant scissors. But almost every year, these things are still there when they are marked down to 50%. This kind of stuff almost always sticks around, so you can hold off on this stuff, obviously, unless you need it for a costume. But if you don't need it for that, you're just a goofball with a YouTube channel. or you like to just collect this, or you have children that like this stuff, those weapons always hang around. So you can wait till the day after, November 1st. I'm not sure how long they stay open. I want to say it's like November 1st, 2nd, or 3rd. Well, definitely the 1st they're open. The 2nd or 3rd they close for the year. And by the time you get to the end, it's pretty well picked over. But if you go on the 1st, a lot of this stuff is still here. The stuff that you have a hard time getting your hands on is the animatronics, because people buy those up in bulk because they have haunted houses or Halloween parties that they do every year, and they go in there and they take that stuff out of there. But things that are not Trick or Treat or It or Friday the 13th or, you know, some like major motion picture company or franchise, most of the stuff sticks around. All of the costume stuff, the weapons, the glasses and wigs and all those sort of things, these coats. One thing that I've tried to get a few different times, but I've been unsuccessful with, is a Freddy Krueger sweater. I've tried to pick those up in the past, and I can never seem to get my hands on one, and I still don't have one. One of these years I'll grab one. Let's see, what do we have here? These are just more boxed up animatronics. I think I'm coming across that dummy. That small posable dummy. There's another one to the right there. Last year I almost bought one of them to put covers on, to put coveralls on and a Michael Myers mask on and throw him in the back row of my movie theater. Just to have Michael Myers sitting in my movie theater, only because it would be hilarious to me to watch movies with Michael Myers. I know that sounds absolutely ridiculous, but I have 6 seats in my movie theater, and there are 4 people in my family, 5 if you count my son's girlfriend, and we never sit in that movie theater and watch movies together. So there's always a couple of open seats, and why not put Michael Myers in one of them? So yeah, I thought that thing there was creepy. Just like a creepy dude looking in a window. It's just strange. It's an odd decoration, but amusing nonetheless. That thing, my wife was telling me that somebody recently was looking for a coffin, and there's a 5-foot collapsible black coffin. So that caught my eye simply because she said somebody was looking for one. I don't remember who it was. So I got to make sure that she sees this. There's just rubber legs and rubber hands and rubber brains. There's the brains and there's hearts. And here is the small Krampus section that they have. Michael bought, I bought for Michael. There's a Krampus sign. Yeah, that Krampus sign there, the red Krampus sign, I picked that up for him while we were here this day. Michael loves Krampus. I really thought this guy here was cool. Some of these hanging things were cool, but I just simply don't have anywhere to put them all. If I bought all these hangers that I liked, my man cave would have stuff hanging from the ceiling all over the place. And that's not real. It doesn't work real well with, filming YouTube videos, having to move things out of the way constantly. And although I like them, they would just simply become a nuisance. So I never bothered to buy him. He's pretty cool. He looks like one of the junkyard zombies from The Walking Dead, is what he always reminded me of. You see that barbs sticking out of him. There, back to the Krampus section. That Krampus mask is actually pretty cool. I'm surprised he didn't ask me for that. What was that? Is this a gargoyle? What was this? Yeah, it's an old gargoyle. Always liked gargoyles. I think they're really cool, but I don't really have a place to put them. That skeleton there, I wouldn't be surprised to see that guy wind up in my yard at some point. I may or may not buy him. I'm on the fence about him. My wife was looking for something to put in the yard that looked like it was coming out of the ground, and I'm the guy who buys up skulls and skeletons, so he would be perfect for my house. And this is just more of the same, more gargoyles, more stuff that comes out of the ground. There's a see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil thing. I like those. Alright, I flipped the camera around like that because there was somebody standing there and I didn't want him on film. Or on camera, I should say. This is not film, pardon. And there is the Bride of Chucky as well as Chucky, and that is a really strange Michael Myers prop that hangs on the door. Neither one of those worked. I believe I pressed the buttons and they didn't work. There's the Bride of Chucky just turning her head. She was saying something, but I couldn't understand her. Yeah, neither one of these things worked. But more or less all it is the eyes light up, and the hair on that thing makes him look like he's wearing a wig. So, yeah, I'm not real nuts about them. That guy there is supposed to hold popcorn. I have one of them. That is a sign from Nightmare on Elm Street. There's Crystal Lake sign. So, Todd Friday the 13th. Here's more Friday the 13th stuff that they have this year at Spirit. They have a lot of cool Friday the 13th stuff. They have like a lenticular Friday the 13th sign. Where is it? Let me see. I have that Haddonfield sign. I actually had two of them. I gave one of them to my buddy Mike, my best friend out in North Carolina. I did finally buy that movie reel Michael Myers last week. See, there is, similar to those Nightmare on Elm Street signs, they have a Friday the 13th one. And it's oddly expensive, so I did not buy it. That one right there, that says Camp Blood. If you turn it, that goes away and comes back. Strangely expensive, so I didn't pick it up. I'm going to try and get that, when it goes on sale as well. These other things are just boxes. Those are pillows. I bought a Michael Myers pillow that says Slay. I'd like to get that Friday the 13th tin sign. I did buy that Halloween blanket, that Halloween 6 blanket. There's a Sam blanket. And there are Sam coffee mugs coming up, I believe. Yeah, there's the coffee mugs. There's one, the shape of his head without the mask on. There's with the mask on. There's another one with the mask on. I just dig Sam. I like a lot of the Sam stuff. Here's the Sam lights his sucker that does not light up. That's a blow-up prop that sits in your yard. He's pretty neat. Here's some more hangers that I would have nothing to do with. And now we're at the Pennywise and IT section. I actually have a wooden boat. I have that very sign hanging in my hallway. This one is that I'm pointing at there. I like that, but I didn't pick that up. I have a feeling that's coming. I'm gonna get that. There's a prop that I almost bought that Phil's Creepy Videos, Phil from Phil's Creepy Videos has that. And this thing makes an appearance almost every week on Phil's live streams. There's a Pennywise pillow that I like. But that wooden boat, I bought that there, that movie reel. There was a wooden boat that I just went by. Janae bought me that. My wife bought me that last year for Christmas. And these things here, I like these, but I don't know what I would do with them. They're just boxes. I like them, and I don't really have a use for them. There's the Loser Club sign. I might get that as well. I don't know why I like that, but I do. I don't know why we like a lot of the stuff that we like as horror movie collectors. Or horror collectors in general, I should say. Michael seemed to like that little drinking glass there. He's a very big fan of Pennywise and IT. He's always liked it. Yeah, sorry for that camera work, but like I said, I'm trying not to get people on camera. You never know. I mean, I don't think they're going to care, to be honest with you. I like him too, the sitting scarecrow. I just like scarecrows. I don't think people in general really care if they walk by and they're on camera, but you never know who you're going to come across that's going to give you a hard time. So rather than deal with that at all, I just don't put people on camera. Here's some tombstones that some props for out in your yard. This thing's got a button on it, but this didn't work either. So I don't know if that just makes sounds or if it lights up or both. I have to assume with ghosts on it that it makes ghost sounds. But again, it didn't work. A lot of this stuff, the best time to see all this stuff is right after Spirit opens, to take a trip to Spirit, and you can get the full experience of everything working because they haven't had a chance to either pull out the wire or break the item or kill the batteries. There's a better shot of that Pennywise box. Yeah, so going right when they open is the best idea if you want to see all that. You see there's this Annabelle blanket, there's a Shining blanket, which I would really like to have down here in my basement. Like I was saying earlier, I have 6 seats in my theater, and I would like to have a horror-themed blanket on all 6 of them. I have a couple. I think I have a Walking Dead blanket. I might have a Halloween blanket in there. I know I have a Frankenstein blanket in there. But I also have like a Metallica Master of Puppets blanket in there, which is awesome, and that's the one that I use in my chair, but it's not exactly horror-themed. There's Nightmare Before Christmas section. Here's a little gothic section. Some of this stuff's really neat too. I'm not a goth guy, but some of the stuff that they have in this section is pretty cool. I actually bought a skull with a crow, black crow sitting on it early this year. I thought he was neat. And then you kind of, is this the witch section? Yeah, this is a lot of witch stuff. And I don't really collect anything witch. So I didn't really, none of this stuff attracted me. Although that's kind of cool. I think I may have that. My wife doesn't like me hanging that stuff in the kitchen, so I try and avoid it. And this is just more random stuff. Potion bags, and there's Beetlejuice. They used to have, at the beginning of the year this year, like miniature head busts of some of the characters that appear in Beetlejuice, but those things were gone extremely quick. There was a bunch of them there the first day they opened, and then I was back there 2 or 3 days later and that stuff was gone, and I've never seen it since. So they were obviously very popular, and now they're unattainable at the 2 locations in my area anyway. There's the Ouija board section. They always have a ton of Ouija stuff in there. The actual Ouija board is down there. You can get coasters and blankets and pillows and cups and signs and everything under the sun in there, up to and including the actual Ouija set. And there is a bunch of witchcraft stuff, which I don't really have any need for that either. I love horror, but I really don't need witchcraft stuff in my house. There's nothing about that I really would want down here anyway. You know, that's not horror movie stuff. That's just, you know, it is what it is. And here are some masks, you know, for the whole COVID thing that we're all dealing with. And here we are with stuff that sticks to your windows. Now, at this point, I'm approaching the checkout line, which is where they always get me. I get in this line and I almost always buy something. And I did on this day as well. Here's a bunch of socks. I've bought a countless number of socks in this store over the years. There's the magnets. I have several of those magnets in my collection already. I didn't buy one here when I was at the store on this day because I don't see any need for me to buy more magnets at this point. I never had magnets in my life, and now I have 5 of them that I've bought. So I wouldn't be surprised if more of them wind up in my collection. I just didn't need any. There's the keychains. I bought the Shining keychain for room 237 this year. Some of those keychains are really neat. There's some shot glasses. The keychains are neat, but I thought that the coolest one was the room key to room 237. I just thought that was awesome. Hocus Pocus mystery figures. What was over here? There's just bags of spiders and bags of eyes and insects and bugs, and here's little things, if I'm not mistaken, are for your nails. I'm not positive of that, but I believe that's what it was. There's all glow stuff, and here's the candy section coming up here. I bought one of these mystery packs for Universal Monsters while I was there. I haven't opened that yet. I'm going to open that on my haul video that I did from Spirit Halloween. Actually, for the whole week, that week. Playing cards, you got Pennywise, Jason, Freddy Krueger, Beetlejuice, those are decks of playing cards. Then you have these things that on the back of them, I thought they were magnets, but they're not. They're suction cups. If they were magnets, I would probably buy the Jason and that skull. Michael was noticing the odd-shaped head on that skeleton. And here's just drinking glasses. There's Krampus. Like I said, my son loves Krampus. We were both pretty big fans of that movie. Really, really enjoyed it. There's stuff for drinking games for... okay, and here's some coffee mugs. I've gotten 3 or 4 of these over the years, all from Halloween stuff. There's a little Jason mask that spins. There's a Halloween 2 cup. I have that. There's an Exorcist cup that I may wind up buying, just simply because there's not enough Exorcist stuff out there. There's all the donations for Spirit. Michael's up there. So that was that. That was our tour of Spirit Halloween in Egg Harbor Township, the Flagship Store. They got a lot of really cool stuff in that place. I could easily go crazy in there. I come here a couple times a month, every month while they're open, and I definitely every year come back on November 1st when everything is 50% off. I saw a few things in there that I'm definitely going to come back for. Did you have a good time?
Yeah, I had a great time.
All right, of course you had a great time. All right, we're going to get out of here. If you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you really like the video and you've been enjoying our content up to this point, please do me a huge personal favor. Click that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. Take care of yourself, take care of each other, have a kick-ass day, and thank you for watching. Say goodbye.
Bye.
Oh my God. Michael says bye. Just smile. Stop wobbling. All right, good enough.